Hi class, just gonna add on to what you have read in your book. This is about metrics and performances. So I'm just gonna touch a little bit more, and I believe some of you have expressed the desire to have your own company or to run your own company or to see how e-marketing works in in companies currently. So what we want to do here is to look at whether the social media effort. Now, when you talk about social media, it's not only just social networking site. It includes websites and, blog posts and all those great stuff. So in order to find out whether your media effort, which in other words, whether, you're posting things, you're updating things, whether those are actually effective and is drawing customer to your website or to your social networking site, what we want to do first is to examine the referring traffic. How you can do this is to look at Google Analytics. I'm certified in Google Analytics, and you can too by taking the exam, studying it up. So what Google Analytics do is they have a dashboard, and you would have to put like a tracking code in, say, your website, and to see where and how people find your website and how long they stay on the website, what is the bounce rate, and etc. And the next thing you want to do is to review the quality and the relevance. Now, I know a lot of social networking sites or blog posts, they allow comments, and when you see negative comments, sometimes it's not even relevant to your topic. They maybe just don't like the look of the website, or it's nothing to do with what you're asking for, and it's totally different topic. And so first of all, you want to see the quality and the relevance. You will monitor the page views and the time spent on each page. So say for example, you have a 5-page website. How much time was spent on each site? And when they look at the relevance of it, if they think it's relevant, they will stay on it longer. If not, the bounce rate will be higher. Okay. And another thing, they say look at the share of voice, which I believe Strauss and Frost did mention share of voice. So what share of voice is about is the number of conversations your company has versus your competitors or the market in general. So how to calculate that is to look at your mentions. So in Twitter, they talk about how many times you were mentioned. So if, say, for example, at somebody, so you talked about that person's topic or you talk about that particular hashtag or whatever it is, and then you divide that by the competitor and, your competition, and to see the share of voice. To give you a visual aid, this is how it looks like. So you want to see that your company has a greater share of voice, like a share of wallet. Since it's online, everything is very concentrated in the word of mouth, the electronic word of mouth. And the next thing you want to do is to track the total size of community and engagement, just like you would encounter in your simulation later part, which I would send out the email in the later part. I'll need to have a finalized email roster, and so you want to make sure that you are adding value to that community. They are engaged in your content. They want to know more about what's out there, and there are CRM tools that you can track all this community and engagement. You can create a dashboard, but also there's another thing. There's a lot of other not ready-made, but there's existing companies that actually do that, and Sprout offers a pretty good view, and you can go onto the website. This is how it looks like. So they would look at your Twitter fans, your Facebook retweets and whatnot. So this is one way. Another thing is Hootsuite. If you have taken Dr. Martin's class in social media, they will talk about Hootsuite, and that's one of the things that they use in Hootsuite Analytics. You can track all this. And measurement of the sentiment. Now, a lot of us get really upset sometimes when certain people just bash you for no other apparent reason, or just very mean to you, or sometimes you get really nice comments. So in this example, you can track it manually, but you also can have existing company that actually tracks it for you. So how it tracks it is to look at the mention. So what are considered positive, the neutral, and the negative. And so you will total up those things together and see, how your company's faring. So how your company's brand health is like. Now, Hootsuite Analytics is one of the platform that a lot of companies use right now. It's based out of Canada, but it has been growing in social media markets right now. And so if you can see, it's all reports. It's you can customize the analytics. And so the more you add onto Hootsuite, say for example, you want to add a LinkedIn account, you want to add a Facebook account, you want to add a Google Plus account or whatnot, it all helps you calculate like your activity. So it's like one dashboard which you can see. If you guys want to learn more about, social media analytics, this course is offered next semester. Social Mention is another website. You can actually type out a keyword and to see, okay, what is it trending right now? And you can look at what is, if you look at the bottom part here, over here, Gene Wilder, Michael Jackson, or so on. So what are the topics that are trending right now? And so you can see where you stand in those trending topics. Now, there's a lot of sentiment analysis. Like just now, it says you can track it manually. You can also use Social Mention or Tracker, Hootsuite Analytics, Meltaway. One of the software that I learned when I was working on a project was Lexalytics, which is a paid software, but I think it's really good and I want to share this with you. So first of all, we want to look at Google Analytics. It's a platform and normally it measures your website. So it's good if you have e-commerce. You can track who comes, who goes, what is the conversion rate, and so on and so forth. This is the one that I'm talking about. So Lexalytics, it tracks, if you can see, there's like negative, positive. So based on all the comments. So what you do is you import the data from, say, the blog posts or like comment bars, and then this Lexalytics would actually pick up what's considered good or positive, what's considered negative, and then they would tabulate out for you. And finally, we want to see how these sentiments, which is also known as opinion mining, we want to know how it is important to us and how we can do something about it. Okay, if it's a positive comment, maybe you want to build up on that. If it's a negative comment, you want to address it. Okay, so there are 5 steps which this Hootsuite actually came up with. So step 1, you have to define its importance. When you look at those comments, how important is it? Is it relevant to you? You set the KPI, which is the key performance indicator. What are you trying to achieve here? You share the sentiment. You want to make sure that when you do compare the sentiment, you want to make sure that you compare on the same, benchmark here. And then always have an analytical mind. Numbers don't lie. So you want to make sure that, you do address the different portions, or say for example, you have a blog post and for 1 week, and every day you post something. And for a particular reason, there's like maybe on Wednesday, the blog post wasn't that great. And so you want to go in and see what people are not happy about, or, maybe it's something very biased, or you can just go in and then just analyze those sentiments. And so, when we talk about e-marketing, we cannot disregard social media because it's here. The future for social media is just expanding. And so there's a lot of companies out there that are building on towards using social media and how you can measure it. And so analytics is a big thing right now. And so if you have taken Hootsuite, there's one website for you, that platform for you, which is really, really useful. And then the Social Mention and many, many others, and you can just go and explore. Okay, so this is just a little more in depth, but if you would like to learn more about social media analytics, the content marketer, this course, I'm offering it in the next semester, and we can talk more detail about it, and we can explore more of what is going on and how we can have a hands-on approach for all these numbers. Okay, talk to you guys soon.